The children in our country are being made to be the victim of a situation they are not involved, and then sent to a foster home where they again are reintroduced to trauma of being the odd ball. Our courts are contaminated with young, inexperienced caseworkers and polluted with bribes, high-priced bonuses for speedy adoption of terminated parents, and judges who don't practice law with the Constitution in their sights. This is a problem. George Washington never thought of children as pawn in the game of freedom and American values, and never had he wanted to sell them. They were from his maker, his creator. Our children are being run down for no other reason than the profits being made in some way. Somehow these government agencies make money hand over fist day in and day out. They have you go to classes that they are billing for, and there is no viable reason for you to attend. Yet when you hear an update, CPS tells you that you're further away from when you started. Reunification is your goal, not theirs. And after you go through 12+ months of grueling, painstaking classes and meetings, all while getting the slimmest amount of time to visit your child, and even worst, you are always supervised. Never alone again with your child. It's awful. How do they feel, do you think?
Where's the outrage? Why is nobody standing up for these families being torn apart by CPS?
Please don't tell me you're going to put all your bets on this superhero. You grown-ups are supposed to be coming to his rescue. Stop ignoring this problem. There is nothing more I can say to any of you. Please fight CPS and help those who have lost so much they can help themselves.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
All right. What's up, everybody? Good evening. This is CPS Punisher. It is Wednesday night here on this. Sorry about this. This 9/11 Eve. I just did that tribute video with all the names of the fallen from 9/11, if we all remember. Let me just get this out of our face. Hello, Debbie. I will call you after the show. I saw that you had called. I just got out. I was running a little bit behind. So I will get in touch with you right after the show. Um, but guys, for a moment here, I want to do a moment of silence for the people that we lost in 9/11 and for their families. So for just a quick second here, I'm going to black us out and we will have a moment of silence for them. All right. All right, everybody. Now we remember that man. I remember I could tell you exactly where I was and what happened, as I'm sure most of you could too. I mean, that was quite a day in America's history. And no matter what conspiracies say, no matter what any of that stuff says, at the end of the day, people died on that day. Um, whether it was at the hands of whatever, it doesn't matter. They all passed away. And that was a bad day for America. You know, and it's days like that that make you think, um, after we've come back in triumph from such a disaster, how we could be sitting here talking about how in this country of ours that have united and come together, how we could be dealing with our children being taken, unrightfully so, unconstitutionally. It's disgusting. And I can't believe that those people that, and granted, these were not military people, or some of them weren't, but they were services, they were emergency services people, they were all of that. How these people gave their lives, and we still have our kids taken one at a time. I mean, even these people that are in emergency services are losing their children. It's crazy. It's disgusting. And this country needs to wake up and see that that's going up the ladder. They're going to run out of the children that they're taking now, right? Like they're not going to have all of these children from the Poe folk, like they keep saying, any longer. So eventually, this stuff is going to get to you people that are in the middle class, and then into the upper echelons, and so on, until they want it to stop. Which who knows what the deal is with that? That's why this is so important. This next election is so freaking important. Now, the difference between uh, Carmela and Trump, the big difference is Trump wants people that had their rights terminated by um, DHS, CPS, whatever they're known as. They just he wants them to be reunited with their families, and Carmela wants to keep funding DHS. So you know that's the biggest difference, people. So if you think that this election is not going to matter, it really is. So we need to wake up this place. We need to pack it up. We need to all come together, and we all need to vote for the way that the CPS machine is going to be shut down. You need to look at who your local senators are, your local politicians, your local everybody, because we can't start from the top. We need to start from the base and work our way up. You know, like let's talk to the local people that are going to be in your town council. How do they feel about CPS? What do they have to do? Then work yourself up to the district, and then go on and on and on. Like let's topple this thing from the bottom up. That way we don't have any errors or things that are left behind. This is what we need to do, people. There is a guy that's running for president. His name is Dennis Ball. He is for the complete abolishment of child protective services. And then another Child Protective Services to fill that in. We have a Child Protective Services plan to abolish CPS here at this show, how to dismantle it, what to do, and then put into a system again. We have a bill here at this program that we will offer any of you that want to email CPSV Hunting Justice to put up to your local senators, your congressmen, your local town council, any of them that are going to push for a bill to end Title IV funding for adoption and replace it with reunification. We have all the means of this stuff. We're doing all of these things. But we need everybody to jump on board with us. There's not enough of us. I need people to like, share, let people know about this show. You know, we need everybody to subscribe so we can get the algorithm up to make this thing bigger. Everybody hit the like button. You know, like every time you guys come in, please hit the like button. Durham, my friend, welcome. Carrie, it's so good to see you. Debbie Anderson, I will speak to you after the show if you're okay with that. And Vinny is on his way home, so that's good. All right. So guys, in the chat, let's talk. Let's talk. What are we going to talk about? What do you guys have? Yes, Carrie, hit the like button. Yes, please do. Hit the like button. What do you guys got to talk about? Any news? Anything that you guys need to take a look at the Supreme Court's recent overturning of the Chevron deference. This disables federal letter agencies from authority that has not passed through Congress. Correct. And also what it does is it allows judges and it forces judges to rule on their own now instead of having to depend on a department's incentives. Arjuna Clearwater in the house. Hello. So Chevron does not only do that, but it also makes the judges so no longer can the department come up and say, "Oh, well, Your Honor, I know that you want to rule in this favor by the law and the way that the law is, but the department feels it's in the best interest of within the best interest of the department that they do this." The judge can no longer accept that as that. The judge has to rule by the way the laws are written. Can't take on those extra that extra interest from the alphabet departments. Great. It undoes their authority retroactively. We all need to sue. Dog's ass is ugly man. My man. All right. Does that mean that people that have been defeated and been TPR'd, for instance, can they go back and use that Chevron doctrine overturning, as if the departments were heavy in their favor? Is that what that means? Can people do that? What other things? Dog-assed ugly man. So glad that you're here. Dog-assed ugly man, can you answer that? Because you seem to know so much about this. Can you tell us how we would use it retroactively? Because I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of us that would love to know and love to hear how we could use it to regain our children back. And I also want to find this. I'm looking for you guys right now. As soon as Eddie comes in to fill the air here. All right, we got Herbert here. Herbert's in the house. All right, Herbert, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing, Darren?
I'm good. We just did made you the big time. Put Herbert on the big screen. We just were having a discussion a little bit with the chat panel here about everything that's going on, and I was asking them some questions. Dogs asked ugly man if you could. I will call you, but I need to know who you are. If you have my number, go ahead and send me a text. If you have the 6982 number or the 1134 number, go ahead and send me a text, and I will definitely call you, and we'll get you on the air for sure. You know what? Hell with it. I'll just put it up here for you guys to all have. Everybody can have Darren's number. Herbert, my condolences to any of your friends and remembering them today that were at the World Trade Center when that happened. Hopefully everybody that you knew was safe and sound. I know that you were in the Oh, Darren. Yes, Darren, you're the one that I was just speaking to. I got you now. Yeah, Darren, let me give you my number. But Herbert, I was I put out a moment of silence, and I also put up a list of all the names of everybody that was lost at the World Trade Center at the beginning of the show tonight. And hopefully, everybody that you knew was safe, and uh, they didn't that day was losing their lives. I know you were working. Were you still a New York police officer at that time?
That was running the university police at that time. At that incident.
All right. Well, our
I was, I
condolences.
was
Did a moment of silence.
Yeah, but a lot of
So,
guys that I work with, they went down there, but I didn't lose any of them. But they were down there, but now they're suffering from conditions as a result of not wearing masks and stuff.
yeah, I mean, the effects of that's going to be long term for a lot of people, even people in the city and everything. Um, that's it was just an unfortunate didn't need to happen day, man, and that sucks. And thank you for your service during that day. Oh shit! I don't know what happened. Hold on, here. Herbert, can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I frozen? I don't know what's happened. I just froze on my screen here. I was typing something and I'm frozen. Am I moving? Holy smokes! Oh, I'm coming back. I don't know what I just did here. Sorry, guys. I feel like something.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was just a terrible day, and our prayers go out to everybody that was affected by that day. And then it's just amazing that that we're still dealing with this, stealing children after such a horrible day. This shouldn't be what's on the front running of conversations anymore, with people who have lost their lives because of these bigger scale things. Our soldiers giving up their lives. My sons were born 2 weeks before 9/11. Wow.
Yeah.
What a mess to come into. Like, how is this even an issue? How is America not uniting around this and becoming united and standing together to fight against these children being taken in child trafficking? How is this so? I mean, how is it that there are so many people out there that still don't understand that child protective services is taking our children at a rate of one child a minute? Like, how is it that people don't know this?
Because it's not out there. It's not out there like, for example, if there was a hurricane coming, oh, you hear about that. They'll be all over the radio, the news, or what have you, or other major things going on. You'll hear about it. But from what I've learned, this whole thing with Child Protective Services was going on way before you were even born.
Oh yeah. This is not new. Right. So you would think that people have had enough, right? When you think. So how is it that we?
Because I go back to what my thing is. People don't know what they're doing or not doing could be making them a target of CPS. That's what it is. It's just education.
Right.
Like you didn't know about it until it happened to you.
Right. Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
You and Mary would have taken certain measures to avoid certain things so that CPS wouldn't get involved.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And just like when I talk to people that don't know about CPS, they're like, and they have children, and they're like, I don't know who they are. They're like, when parents do something and the Child Protective Services get involved, they have no clue. They don't have no clue. Once Child Protective Services get involved, it's hard to get away from them.
It is, and even if you or what they're saying now is, if you're getting any sort of any sort of help from the government, like if you're getting WIC or if you're getting, any of those things, you are going to be put on the target because they must be running out of children that, they're able to steal, so now they're going down these lists.
Well, see, I'm wondering if it's that, I'm not going to discount what you said. If it's that, or there are so many cases of child abuse that they can't handle it. I sent Vinny, I always send you stuff and I send Vinny stuff.
Yeah.
And I sent you stuff where there was a parent that left the child in the car 130 degrees. I mean,
yeah.
How do you, I mean, what are you thinking? Leaving your child in a car 130 degrees, or the bus driver leaving the child in the bus, locking the bus up in the bus yard, the school bus, and nobody knows where the child's at. The child's up there sleeping in the bus.
Yeah, I mean,
People are not thinking.
Yeah, I mean, is life just in too much of a hurry? I mean, I don't understand how that. I don't understand how that could mean that you can't take care of your, that supersedes the life of your child in the car. But
I came up with an idea. When you're planning to have OBGYN, you're planning to have a child. You're planning stage. You have to take classes. And the classes that you take, I don't know if they do exist or not, but the classes that you take will consist of understanding what Child Protective Services is and how to avoid it.
Yeah, that's Mary.
You're not even pregnant yet.
Yeah.
You're not even pregnant yet. But you plan on being pregnant, so you have to do that.
Yeah, Mary said that.
And you have to show proof. Yeah, Mary said that?
Mary's been saying that when they have breastfeeding or any of those OBGYN classes for first-time mothers or people that are pregnant,
yes,
that there should be a 15 or 20-minute or whatever excerpt about your basic rights about what you have for CPS and what to do if they show up, and so on. There should be definitely an education.
I can see where that education could be stretched out to an hour and a half with a break in between. You know why? Because there's, first of all, teaching how to avoid Child Protective Services. Then they should talk about, if you do get involved, this is what you got to go through. You're going to go through this with the court system. You got to go through this with your attorney and blah, 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 blah. There's going to be classes. They have to go through all of that. Not just tell people, here's how you avoid Child Protective Services, but to tell people, if you do get involved, this is what you have to go through to get out of it.
Right.
That will scare the bejeebers out of people. And they'll think 3 times before they do something that will put them on the radar.
No, I mean, that would work. Absolutely. I just don't, it's just such a tough thing that people even have to live through this, and how they're just getting away with this. But how do we bring this education out to the people that haven't been affected by it? That's the thing. How do you get this out past that? Because it needs to be, everybody needs to be aware of this, because they shut us up. They don't let us talk. And then, I just came across something really good. If like they're not letting us speak out about it. Parents like Durham Justice over there in the UK are being gag ordered. They're gag ordering people here in the United States, so they're not allowed to be talking about what's going on. I mean, other short of Vincent Davis and Malibu Dallas, I mean, those are the 2 front runners there, really, of the people that are getting the awareness out there, and they're only doing that through means of being able to help them. And that's great. And, I'm glad that those people are here to do that. But by the time people get, by the time the CPS comes and takes your kids and you need these people or need people like us, it's too late, man. They've already gotten your kid. They've already put you in a bad situation. You've already spoken too much. You've already done a lot of things wrong that you are not going to be able to back out of. And that's the thing. That's the thing that we need to get out there to people, because when you're contacting us, or you're contacting, you know, whomever, it's too late. They've already made their decision. They're already doing the bad things. They're already fixing their documents. They're already doing all of these things that we all know that they do. I mean, we beat a dead horse all the time. And how we get to that just not happening, that's the question, right? That's the question. How? And I would love to hear from our people that are watching. What do they have for ideas? What do you guys have for ideas?
Durham just mentioned something about, I'm trying to find it here. He mentioned that some people do need children removed, but lots of families are doing nothing wrong and losing their children. So in some cases, as Durham is saying, that some children do need to be removed from their parents, because I guess because of the parents, they shouldn't have children, and they're abusing the children. So what do you do with the children that are being abused?
Well, that's the thing. And if you know what, if they paid more attention to the children that were actually being abused, and less attention to the families that don't need this stuff, then they would be more children that were really needing help getting help. I mean, they're not taking. Listen, I hate to say this, but this is the truth, and I don't mean any offense to anybody. But the fact of the matter is this: the reason they don't take abused children, people that are hurt, children that are from substance abuse, every one of these times you're finding these children that die at the hands of CPS or at the realms of CPS, you've heard that they've been called on 30 and 40 and 50 friggin' times. CPS can't get rid of damaged products. When people go there to look for an adoptive child, they want a good middle, upper, lower class, downward middle class, good family genes, the kid that's never been abused, so they don't need to be reprogrammed. Like, someone's getting an instant family, and that's the truth of the matter. That is the absolute truth. So they pick, middle way America. They guaranteed that 1 out of every 5 persons going to have a substance abuse issue. So that's an easy one for them to come at. They say that, hell, if you have a substance abuse issue, the cops can come in your house. They can check this. They can check that. It's carte blanche. You go to school. They teach the kids what drugs looks like. The kids tell the people at school that my parents do drugs. CPS comes in, takes your kids. This is all created by them. All of this is created by them, so that it's easier for them to target these families. These are all created by them. This is facts.
I know. I'm looking at what I think the person's name is Dog Ugly Man.
Yeah, I'm trying to. His name is Aaron too, right?
Dog, is it Dog Ass Ugly Man?
Dog Ass Ugly, yeah.
Yeah. He says that my son was taken out of state by his mother, and with support of the courts, kidnapped and missing 9 years while being attacked by the courts. 6 felony child support charges brought against me.
Oh,
so
of course.
My question would be, I'll call you the man, Dog Man. My question to you would be, what felony charges did the courts bring against you, and why? If you can explain it to us.
Yeah, he's saying that 6 felony child support charges. So they were saying that he's saying that his wife kidnapped the kids, took him out of state, broke jurisdiction, all that stuff. And then on top of it, they sent him for not paying child support. They charged him with not paying child support.
Well, if you're supposed to pay child support, shouldn't you be paying child support?
They kidnapped his kids. The mother kidnapped the kids. I did 3 years in corrections, many other times in county and contempt charges, working full time, sleeping in my car, he says. Yeah, this is exactly it. This is exactly what they'll do, man. My child lost for so long. Let me see here. Never came back. I lost my child. He's now a man. That's another thing too. Absolutely. Darren, did you want to get on the show? Because you can contact. Oh, Durham, I'm trying to drop the link. It's not pasting, but Vinny's here now, so I'm going to have him.
I got you.
He dropped the link for you. If you don't mind, Vinny.
Yeah.
Darren, if you wanted to come in the show, also, Dog Ass Ugly Man. If you wanted to come in the show, also, you can go ahead and do it without your picture. You can do it without your picture and just an audio if you wanted it. So click on that link when you're coming in, kill your camera, and you can just do the audio. And Durham, the link is up, brother. Hop on in.
Sorry for being late. We were running late tonight.
Yeah, but I want to get back to what we were just talking about here. So, Vinny, we have a gentleman out here that I don't know if you heard that or not, but his wife kidnapped the children, brought them across state lines, broke jurisdiction, and all he got instead of some sort of a reunification or help was a child support order that I'm sure they snuck in on him and got him some prison time. It got him not able to see his kids ever again, got him all kinds of BS. But meanwhile, it was fine for the mother to steal the kid and go run off and hide from dad. I mean, that's just disgusting and so much. And that's parental alienation right there at its finest.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
Holy smokes.
I just want to mention something to Durham because I don't think he's aware of it. Durham, every day you have to have a new link. You can't use yesterday's link for today. So you have to use a new link every day.
He doesn't get the dirt link till he comes on here because we don't send it to him. He gets it.
Right. I'm just letting him know that, because he may be thinking that he can use yesterday's link to come on today. Nope, don't work that way. It's a new link every day. So today's link, once you come on, delete it.
He's in.
He's already here. We already let him in.
Okay.
Hello, mate. Durham, how we doing, buddy? Oh, you pissed him off, Herbert. Great.
He's pissed off?
He's not talking.
Maybe he pissed off.
Durham, how we doing, buddy?
I'm all right, man. I'm trying to get in. I'll get out.
We can hear you, though. You're in.
Can you hear
me? Just a tip.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, Durham.
Right. It's saying, right, that my mic's muted. I got no fucking picture. It's just a fucking blank screen, man. You can hear me.
We can hear you 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's loading very slow.
Slow loader.
Slow loader.
How's the bloody clown?
You can't tell my obligation because my child support
how's the what?
Without due process, due notice of hearing. They even took my parental custody away and a hearing behind my back. Holy shit.
They even took my parental joint custody away.
Is that English porn on? We're going to tune it down a little bit. All right. Durham, we got you now.
I'm going to come out.
Yeah, try it out. Go back out, come back in. Back out, back in, baby. Listen to this. They canceled my obligation because child support was demanded from another state. Without due process, due notice of a hearing, they even took my parental joint custody away and a hearing behind my back. Man, I want to talk to you, Mr. Dog-assed ugly man. Just how badly me and my siblings. Oh, yes. Perfect. Cassie says she was one of those people that needed help, and no one answered. I just found a video perfect for you.
Well, she said she was abused physically, mentally, and was abused sexually as well.
Yeah.
This is now, Cassie. Was this in with your parents, or when you were taken out to a foster home?
No, she's saying that she was never removed from her home.
Oh,
so they tried over and over. Right. It's just like Gail. The same thing. So
she said it was a stepfather. Yeah. So here's a case where on one side of the coin we're talking about how do we stop children from being removed from the home. And here's a case where Cassie, whatever her name is a person that's trying to get out of that situation.
That's just it.
She's begging for CPS. Please take me out of here.
Yeah. And so that just goes to tell you that they knew that was You know, like I don't. They're saying that there's so much damage done there to the degree and everything that there's so much mental problems that they're not going to come and help because they don't want to have to deal with raising a child with so much damage done. Even though the whole idea behind this whole friggin' system is when some little child is screaming for help, that we go there, we help them, we remove them from the danger that they're in, we put them in a fucking Disney World palace, and we let them grow up and get well with themselves so that they can come out and be an amazing functioning adult. That's what goes on.
This contradicts everything that we've been talking about. Cassie says that my school made numerous attempts to get CPS involved, and they just didn't want to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And yet here we are. We're trying to get the schools, the mandatory reporters, to kind of talk to the parents.
Up, right.
And in her case, they don't even want the school she was in didn't even want to contact CPS.
Right. No, they did contact CPS. They wouldn't do
No,
anything.
my school made numerous attempts to get CPS involved, and they just didn't want anything to do with us.
Right. The school made numerous attempts to get in touch with CPS.
Yes, but CPS didn't want to have anything to do with them.
Correct.
What school was it though?
What do you mean what school?
We think any?
Well, she said the school, so what school was it? There's got to be a school.
Yeah, it's a school, like whatever state she's in. What state are you in, Cassie?
She's a Maina. Yep. I think she was from up your way originally, maybe, Vinny. So I'm pretty sure I know who this is. I think she was up your way. But I just found a video. Whoa. Juna.
I hear echo. It's not me. I'm hearing echo.
Here, I'm pulling up this video because this is kind of a little compilation that I just found. So I don't know what exactly this is going to say, but this is about when CPS doesn't come. So I didn't get a chance to view this, but from what I'm reading in the description, it seems like it's right up the alley of that. But this is where the balance. This is where the balance is thrown off, right? Like this is a completely flip side of the coin. It's because there's so much pain and suffering that they're afraid that they're going to be stuck with these children forever. They're not going to be able to be helped. So they're not going to bring them. They're not going to be helped by CPS. So not going to bring them into the system.
Yeah.
You know, that's just it. It's way unfortunate because that's who this is supposed to be. The system is here to help those that need help, right? Like that's it. That's what it's supposed to be. So when these kids are out screaming and crying because they're being beat by, they're being abused, they're being raped, they're being all of these things, and CPS is going, no. Like, what do you do, right? Like, what do you do? So this guy is supposedly gonna share some light. Oh, shoot. Where is it? One minute, guys. Sorry about that. Hold on a minute. Sorry, guys.
Well, Dog Ugly, I hope that your subsequent charges will be dismissed.
Yeah. I had spoken to someone earlier about him, and man, his stuff is quite amazing, to be perfectly honest. And I'm very much looking forward to having a conversation with them because, man, he has a lot of information that he can share with us. I'm trying to pull that video up, guys. Just bear with me on that. Let me see here. Why won't it let me? Let's see. What to expect is where it is.
I don't know if CPS has a jury trial. You have to help me out with that, Jared.
Negative.
They don't have jury trials, right? No. Okay.
Well, hold on. I lied. There's like 4 states now, because this is what's becoming the hot commodity. Is the whole, because you have a lack of. So here's the thing: is that there's a due process issue there, because our Constitution says that you have the right to trial by jury. So
Okay.
in that we don't have them in the family courts, but we know the family courts don't go under any rules or guidelines because of all the hooting and nanning and their kangaroo courts. But however, states are starting to catch on, and they are making it a priority to make sure that jury trials do take place in family court matters, because they say it's the hide behind the whole, the confidentiality and all of this type of stuff. Well, these jurors are always sworn to confidentiality, when they're in the case and when they're in everything. So why is it so hard to do it for this matter? But here, let's try to replay this video.
When it comes to child protective services, it's easy to feel a mixture of emotions. We are under the assumption that most parents will always act in the best interests of their children, but there are rare instances where the safety and well-being of your children may be called into question. If CPS comes knocking on your door and asks for permission to speak with you or your child about a matter involving abuse or neglect, it can jumpstart one of the toughest times for a parent and their children. You might have heard that CPS does not help children as much as it makes life difficult for families during a CPS case, and that can put you in a situation questioning who can you trust and believe in. Hi, I'm Madeline Herrera, an attorney here at the Law Office of Brian Fagan, and today we're going to be discussing CPS investigations and your rights when CPS shows up on your doorstep.
This is not what.
So, the biggest question is, how does a CPS investigation begin? You'll be surprised to know that anyone can anonymously report alleged child abuse or neglect to CPS. The person must simply believe, in good faith, that he or she witnessed your child being abused or neglected, or that he or she heard credible information about your child being abused or neglected.
There it is.
In either case, the individual can contact CPS and report what they saw or heard. CPS will then investigate the report to determine its credibility and whether an investigation is warranted. Many calls and messages received by CPS are not fully investigated because of a lack of credible information or the limited availability of witnesses to corroborate what the reporter said. As you can imagine, there are likely to be people who make false reports for a number of various reasons. And these false reports can be especially damaging to a family or a parent's reputation. And it's not always possible to dismiss these reports once they have been debunked. However, I'm here to share with you some pointers on interacting with CPS during an investigation. Not only should you be concerned about how you conduct yourself during an investigation, but you should also be aware of how you emotionally carry yourself throughout the case. Balancing those competing interests is difficult, but we will go over some information that will be of assistance to you and your family, both now and in the future. To begin with the investigation, CPS caseworkers will usually approach you at your home at any time. When they make their initial visit, the CPS investigator will likely ask if they can speak with you about a report they received about abuse or neglect of your child. As humans, we are instinctively courteous and polite, so you may feel obligated to speak to and even allow the CPS investigator into your home. However, knowing your rights can save you down the road if CPS determines from their initial visit that a further investigation is warranted. It's important to know that if a CPS caseworker requests access to your home, you have every right to refuse. As a caseworker, it is their responsibility to gather information. Their request to enter the house is similar to any other person on the street requesting permission to do so, but you do have every right to refuse. And CPS employees can be very persuasive. For starters, there is always the risk that anything inappropriately said can be used against you to have your child removed from your home. So it's important to conduct yourself in an amicable manner when face-to-face with CPS. As a result, most people are apprehensive about interacting with CPS. Even if you comment or casually talk about a subject with the caseworker, What you say to them can be used against you in an investigation. So keep your guard up, be professional, and speak to CPS as if what you say will be transcribed. Always know your rights and continue to do what is in the best interest for you and your children. Hopefully, this clarifies any questions you have about the beginning of a CPS investigation. However, if it doesn't, or if there is anything else in the realm of family law that we can help you with, please call us at 281-810-9760. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and enable post notifications if you like this video. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
Yes. All right. So that didn't quite answer the question, but I want to go back to that because what they did say was that there's one thing, and Malibu Dallas taught me this, right? There's one thing that was said, and that is the one thing that CPS has to do out of this whole thing. There's one thing that by law CPS has to take part in, and that is the investigation. They have to, by law, go investigate every one of their investigations. Every one of their calls. So in Cassie's instance here, how do we, like she said, like even herself, she called numerous times. I think that should be zoned for a lawsuit. Lady, what's your thoughts on that? Vincent.
Sorry, I'm looking into something. Check the back messages.
Yeah. Not so. FYI. So no worries there, pal. Quite scared though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nope, they sure don't. They don't care about us, but they're supposed to by law. So Cassie, what I'd say to you is, I don't think that there's a statute of limitations on anything regarding on this. But if CPS denied you your right to be safe and have a safety when you were children, when that's their job, I think that you should figure out a way to sue their asses for not protecting you as a minor. And I think everybody that needed CPS to protect them when they were children, and they were called and all of these things would go on and pleaded for help and all this stuff, I think all of them people should find a way that they could sue these people for neglect and abuse.
Then you should come on the show, Cassie, and explain your story. Hold on, I'll drop the link in here. It's very simple to get on, and we would kind of love to hear what you got to say. But there's the link.
Come on in, Gas. And Debbie, is that fine if I reach out to you after the show? Are you okay with
yes.
that?
Make sure you send it to me and Carrie as well.
Oh, the thing for the call?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
right.
a little zoned out. It was an interesting day at work, to say the least.
Yeah, we should have just.
We almost had 3 people just walk out.
Oh wow, busy night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back here. What are they talking about here? I'm now examining and overturning the original support orders I was offered. No due process, jury trial, or afforded any other rights. Then the fruit of the poison tree comes into play, nullifying everything. And so does Mulberry versus Madison is also another one. Dog's ass ugly. I think that you can run those side by side, if you will, with the fruit of the poison tree. And does everybody out here know what the fruit of the poison tree is? It's like the void ab initio type situation also. the fruit of the poison tree means that something happened. If this didn't happen or this did happen, then this wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? It's meaning that every event that came up because Vinny stubbed his toe, everything after that, like the effects of Vinny stubbing his toe, comes up as, it's not usable because it was caused by Vinny stubbing his toe, or it is usable because it was caused by Vinny stubbing his toe. I know that's kind of a lame way of me explaining it. I don't know any better way to well, I do know a better way, but sorry about that.
I mean, there is a way to explain that because I went back and I looked at all the paperwork that they had, and I went back and looked through all the case file, and sitting there is every time there was a call to CPS, every time they declared it not reachable for intake level.
Huh. Okay.
Or no information was found and they closed it. So if they closed it, then why the hell are they bringing it up in all these? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I asked my attorney and I haven't heard yet.
Because they're trying to shake your boots, man. They're trying to rattle you to think that something's bad and they're trying to make you think that they're going to say something, or you know what I mean? They're just trying to get you nervous about something that you're not needed to be nervous about, dude.
I don't need to be nervous because
right.
I know the truth. I know the truth. I know the fact. I've done my homework, and I actually did more homework today, and I read an article about parental alienation. And this article blew my mind when I read it.
Hey, what about sibling alienation?
Yes, they have both. Yeah.
Do they? I've never known much about sibling alienation.
Hold on, I'll read you guys this article real quick. Because I sent it right to Richard, and I was like, "This is what this is what's going on." I'm just trying to grab right here.
Yep.
All right. It says judges generally don't view parental alienation favorable. In some jurisdictions, consider it a form of child abuse. When reviewing a case, judges consider the following: the child's thoughts, feelings, and wishes, whether the child is exposed to harm, whether both parents are able to care for the child, instability in parents' techniques. Some judges describe alienating parents as possessive and controlling, self-centered acts as the owner of the child and the truth about what is best for the child. Judges may take the following action in parental alienation cases: ensuring the assessment and complete in a reasonable time, bring cases to a trial as soon as possible after the assessment is complete, seek court orders prohibiting certain conduct, finding a parent in contempt of court, which can result in jail time. Parental alienation is not explicitly classified as a crime in any U.S. state, but family courts take allegations seriously because it can impact custody decisions.
All right, Benny, we got Cassie in the house.
Hi.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, Cass.
Welcome in, Cass.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So, yeah, basically my mom left my dad when I was around 6 and my sister was around 3. And she met basically the terror of my young life that ended up reshaping my entire future. But it was just nonstop, physical abuse, mental abuse, you name it, he probably did it to us. And so I would go to school covered in bruises, clearly exhausted, just not right, and many of my teachers ended up reporting it. So then what happened was I ended up going to school one day, and I'm sitting in the guidance counselor's office, and they had somebody come in and talk to me. And they spent about maybe 15 minutes in there with me, and that was that. And I never heard from them again, and I never heard anything about it. And I guess like that moment kind of really just like changed everything because I really felt like I didn't have anyone that was gonna ever like make it stop. So
Did CPS ever go to your home and speak to your parents?
Um, so as an adult, my mom's talked to me about it a little bit, but I guess based on their conversation with me at school where my mom wasn't present, nobody else was present, nobody was like helping me to speak about what I was feeling, they determined that there wasn't enough evidence to support them needing to do that.
Okay, what year was this?
I was in fourth grade, so probably like, oh boy. 2008, 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's recent 2000s.
Yeah.
May I
Okay.
ask what state are you in?
I'm in Maine.
The main
Oh,
app.
you're up there with them. Okay.
Yep.
Up there with them, he says.
You're up there with them.
Cass,
Yep.
what did what was like the first steps that it led to calling these people and trying to seek help for you guys?
So, I guess like really like when I was in 7th grade, I ended up getting called down to the guidance counselor's office after many of my teachers had noticed bruises, noticed me acting like just not right. They could obviously tell like something was going on at home and I wasn't speaking about it. And I get called in the guidance counselor's office and my guidance counselor looks at me and she says, "You know, it's not normal for your parents to hurt you.
Mm.
Like when other kids get in trouble, they don't go home and get hurt." And I just was like dumbfounded. I had no idea that like I was like not like that not every kid went home and had to deal with that. So
Right.
then like after that fact, I was then like concerned not only about myself but about my two younger siblings. So like I ended up talking to my guidance counselor whom I got really close with and she said, "Well, there's people that we can call that can help you." So I was like, "Absolutely, do it." And that's when I had like a meeting and it just basically got brushed right under the rug and that was that.
How many
Wow,
times
that
did
kind
they call?
What?
So
How many
I gotta
times did they
ask.
call?
How many times did I call?
How many times would you say that CPS was should have been that you know of
Oh,
was notified
that
about
I
you guys?
know of, I know that they were called my 4th grade year at least 2 or 3 times. I know that they were called like once or twice in middle school. And I know they were definitely called when I was in high school because I tried to commit suicide my like sophomore year.
Jeez.
So
So I gotta ask you, Kathy, what kind of trauma did that all cause you? What are you dealing with as far as your mental health
my
going
mental
through all
health is basically shot. I have a really hard time like handling pretty much anything at this point and I'm like basically terrified of like almost any male individual that I come into contact with. I have a really hard time trusting people. Like in
that?
school I was extremely smart. I was extremely liked. I always like flourished in like math, history, science. Like I wanted to be something someday and because I went through all that, I ended up getting into like drugs when I was basically in my sophomore year of high school and after that I just didn't really care about anything anymore and like I think about it now and it's like my life probably would have been so much more different than it is right now had I gotten the opportunity to get out of a situation like that.
Now, does it make you irate that these people would not help you in any way?
Oh, absolutely.
If you
But
could go back, if you could go back to that day and change anything at all about how they handled things, what would you do?
I just feel like they should have been more. You're in a room, you're talking to somebody who's in like their younger years of school. That's somebody that doesn't understand why you're there. They don't really understand how any of that works. Like if you were called into that situation, you should have made it a mission, like your point to figure out exactly to a T what was going on with that individual. You shouldn't have just been asking them like super like broad questions and then just sitting there and staring at them. Because for me, it made me uncomfortable. And what do young kids do when they're uncomfortable? They just shut down. They don't talk. They're not
Yeah.
going to talk to you. Like,
Yep.
if you worked for CPS and you're supposed to be saving these young individuals, like, how are you not able to have conversations with them that make them feel comfortable?
You see, that's the
So,
thing is
so
they like to do the conversations private. They usually don't like having anyone else involved because that is how they start to brainwash these kids.
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
no, I
Vinny,
remember very, very vividly that my guidance counselor said she didn't feel comfortable leaving me in the room alone to do that. That she wanted to be there
Right.
with me, and I feel like maybe that's kind of might have been like a reason why they were so like bland with the questioning. But at the same time, I see like all these horror stories everywhere about like kids that actually did get like CPS involved in their life and stuff, and like it's kind of like messed up, but like in the same sentence I can almost say that I'm grateful that maybe they didn't, because who would have known, like on that
Yeah.
end of the spectrum too, like, and
Right.
that's like a sick world that we live in, like.
This shouldn't be what that thought shouldn't be.
No.
You should be pissed that you didn't get the help that you were needing and you were applying for, not sitting there going, "Wow, maybe I'm thankful for this not happening." You know,
Mhm.
like, I mean, these kids are victims. The kids
Mhm.
that are actually being abused are victims, and yet we're victimizing these victims now by doing what we're doing, throw them into more torturous situations, more places of abuse and neglect. You know, places that, I can't get out of my head. We've been talking about this a lot lately, but the fact is, when you lose your child from TPR, how else is anybody going to report that child missing if they go missing? Because nobody knows that child. That child no longer has any family. Nobody's paying attention to your child like you do as an adult or as a parent. So how would you know? How does, like, this is how these children go out and fall out of the system, because nobody knows they're missing, because nobody cares. You've cut away their care force field. It's gone. Nobody
Yep.
cares. So how am I going to know that my daughter is missing or whatever when no one cared about her then and no one cares about her now, and then she's just up and vanishes? Nobody even knows that she's gone that cared about her.
Mhm.
This is how they
Cassie, Cassie, did your mom get involved at all with the situation?
So my mom was extremely mentally ill. She was on
Oh,
very, very heavy medication, and unfortunately because of that she was almost like, not to say neglectful, because my mom loves us very, very much, but she just was in a mental state that kept her from being able to do anything about it, really, because she had no idea what was going on. Not
okay,
even about herself. So, like,
okay, I get it.
however, my dad, oop, I might have just lost you
Oh,
guys for a
you're
second there.
here.
Hold on.
You're back. Talk. You're there. We see you.
Can you hear me?
You're
Yes,
in.
100%. We can
Okay.
hear you and we can see you.
Oh no, we lose her. Well, shit. Uh, Whoa, Arjuna, what is that? Legal abuse syndrome.
Legal abuse syndrome
Yes,
is a
yes,
recognized
yes,
disorder.
yes. This is what I talk about all the time. Darren, I swear to goodness sakes that you are my dog ass ugly man. I swear that you're my double, because this is what I preached all the time. If you go back and watch through the shows, this is one of the things that I have proved right here. I experienced my child's death with no closure. My child never returned. He was a man when I met him again. Absolutely. That's the truth. And it's so much, it's so, I will mean no disrespect to anybody again, but I tell you what, it's no comparison to lose your child and know that they're out there still and not have a way to have closure is just, even though you dog ass, you got your child back as a man, it's not your child anymore. As a man, it's a whole different person that you were reunified with. I'm sure you still love them and care for them. But that's not the experience that you thought when you were having him as a young child that you were going to have in your life. You yeah, that's awful. And then you got people like Cassie that try and try and try to get social services to come and help them and get them removed. Um, and nothing. I mean, like, you get all these mandated reporters calling in and saying these things and whatever. And I think she counted out like 9 times that she
Sorry
knows it.
about that.
Oh, there she is.
My phone died.
Yes, she's back.
But I guess so, like in the same sentence, I could say that like my dad, he tried to fight for custody of us when he kind of found out like some of the things that were going on. But unfortunately, like without there being like an open CPS case and stuff, he didn't actually have any proof that he needed in order to be able to fight my mom in court. So like they had a guardian ad litem come into the situation, and my stepdad basically bullied everyone in the whole house into just playing nice and acting like everything was good, and like she bought it, and then that it just got worse from there really like.
Wow.
So in other words, they made you to be a liar, like what
Yep.
you were saying. When you were telling stories.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, he would bribe us as kids to like he'd be like, "Oh, well, if you say nice things about me and if you say nice things about your mom, I'll take you and go get you this, or I'm going to do
Right.
this for you guys." And I'm honestly going to say that that was probably like the longest chunk of time that I went without actually being abused for like
So
out of
he's a
like probably the
narcissist
last like
himself.
6 or 8 years. So,
So he's a
my
narcissist. Yep.
my younger siblings ended up so the middle child, my sister Maya, she ended up moving down south with my dad, thank God. But the youngest one, Jaden, her and I got stuck in it together pretty much towards the end. So
Ugh, it's terrible.
she
So this
experienced a
is
lot less than me.
this is Darren. This is even bigger than abolish CPS. This is like it's like an explosion. It's like we
Right.
have people like Cassie who want CPS to get involved, and then we have people who want to stay away from CPS.
Right.
It's a big gigantic 360.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man. If we need to just take the whole damn thing down and then rebuild it from the
Exactly.
ground up at the local level and move it up, that's it. Because we know as a community how to take care of children and what the people need. So if we
Mhm.
blow this whole damn thing up and we start at the community level, and we start with the town, and then the bigger, 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 build it from the ground up. You know what I mean? That's what we got to do. We'll know what to do in our
Absolutely.
own community if someone needs help.
And we
His
got to
Cassie
keep it out of.
Cassie needed help and she couldn't
Mhm.
get it from
Right, but
CPS.
if the community was paying attention to Cassie, then they would have, like, if the school called, let's say we have a community-based program that is established to come out and do the preliminaries for child protection. So you have someone come in from the town that comes out, talks to Cassie, talks to her family, finds out what's going on with her family. Hey, what do you guys need? Is there something that we can do to prevent this abuse? Can we do something that, if we're not saying, you know what I mean? Like, figuring out from the family level at a local level what needs to be done so that this family can continue on their life as a family. If not,
Exactly.
then you know to move Cassie away from there. But Cassie
But
now
then,
gets treated with 100% attention,
Mhm.
affection, love, feeling cared for, and all of that. Not thrown in a car and brought to an office building to sit there for 30 hours while they figure out some place for her to go. You want to talk about not feeling wanted? It's
Nope.
bad enough you don't feel wanted in a home, but then you're going to go sit at someone's house and they're trying to force you down their neck. Holy shit, it must be a god awful feeling.
They need to be able to do outreach where they're more focused on resurrecting the issues or resolving the issues, better yet, of the entire family to keep them together instead of just ripping the child away. That just makes no sense to me. Why would you do that?
What
They're
I
in a
what I read
moment where
last
they're
night, dude.
scared. They don't know what's going on. They're not aware of like if everything's going to be okay. And then you're going to take that child who's scared and helpless and asking for your help, and you're just going to rip them away from everything they know.
Right.
It
They
makes
don't
Plop
no
them
care.
in those
sense.
notes. What's that, Vinny?
They don't care.
No, they certainly don't.
They're lining their pockets with that money.
Yep. Getting those bonuses.
Like now, we just found out we're losing our main care. They're taking it away.
Who
So
is?
now I have no insurance after next month.
Why are they doing that?
Don't know.
That's awful funny, Vinny, because you know what?
no, what?
Hold on. Just 1 minute here. Of course, I'm looking for it right here. And of course, it's not here.
Thank you, Carrie. I would love to.
Let's see here. Well, I don't know, but I got the same thing, Vinny.
Mm,
It's very weird. I
yeah,
just got the same paperwork in the mail the other day. That
beginning to be a little bit much.
is that when you got it the other day?
I
What
got it
does
today.
main care provide you with? Because
Everything.
it's
I just get health insurance for us, but it says you are getting this letter because we have made a decision on your main care benefits. There it is, same thing, Vinny. I've had it for since 2 years, and now they said that nope.
Yeah, it covers my counseling. It covers my case management.
Yeah.
It covers if I have to have special things done at the doctor's office. It covers all of that.
and you're saying they're taking that away?
Yep.
Can you contest? Can you contest it and find out why?
Yeah, you have to.
I can try, but
I bet you I know a good reason why it's not just coincidence that both Vinny and I had just happened to. Did you just get that last week, 2 weeks ago?
we got it last week. Yep.
Yeah, so did I. Huh. That's strange, huh?
Yeah.
Whew. But yeah, this is that's we'll look into that. But hey, while we have Cassie on here, guys, do you guys want to wrap this up and do some last words? It's been a good episode right here. Cassie, you want to do some last words?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, hop on in.
Um,
It's gonna start with you. That's what happens. Newbies get started.
oh my goodness, you put me on the spot here. Wow, I don't even know what to say right now. Sorry, you caught me off guard.
All right, Herbert, we'll start with Herbert, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay, starting with Herbert. As you know, my thing is how do we avoid being a victim of CPS? One way is to learn all you can about that system and learn how to avoid being a target or red flag for CPS. You have to play their game and beat them at it. So don't think you could play your game and beat them. No, they are the ones that set up the game plan. You have to learn what their game plan is and avoid it. Stay under the radar of CPS.
Yeah, how are you going to compete with that one?
I know that was
All right,
fantastic.
let's try Vinny. We'll give that Vinny go next. So what are you thinking, Cass? Go ahead, Vinny.
All right. Well, since I'm going next, don't give up hope. Keep fighting. Do not sign any contract with CPS whatsoever. Do not let them in your door. You do not have to. That is your constitutional right. Make sure that you're recording everything and anything you can. And most of all, hate them case workers as much as you hate their snobby, stuck up supervisors.
That's right, Vinny. That's the way. I love that one. All right, Cassie. Now it should be you. Sorry about the cat interruption there, Vinny.
No, you're fine. I just want to say to like anybody else out there that's gone through something similar to my situation and any other people that might be experiencing it currently, I just want you all to know that there's an amazing group of people out there that intend to correct the wrongs of the prior CPS corporation itself and to make it a new and better program for everybody else out there. So you don't have to go through the things that I went through.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. That's should be all right. All right. Well, for me, let's say if you guys want copies of all the stuff that we do, if you guys want copies of the music, the songs, you want to order my books on Amazon, but any of the information that you want, email CPSV Hunting Justice, and we will get back to you how in a quick, timely manner. Now that we have a observer of the emails, so be sure that they won't go unseen. Also, Dogman, if you could email also, that would be great, so we can get in touch with you. And for everybody else, keep fighting the good fight. We'll win eventually. It's just a matter of time. I am the CPS Punisher, and we are out of here.
Don't forget the after show.
After show, will, yes, I'll send up the link.
The world getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate. Separate and segregate, don't celebrate quite yet. The storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate the values of our country. And our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on the streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour, troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, chosen just neglected, deflected by some breaking news. Oh, we just accept it, expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objectives, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, lying not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Nah, drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
Oh, one day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. We need you now. We need you now. One day. The truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.